How you doing, Kareem?
Kareem, how you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Bit of a drab 0-0 result today, and another game without a shot on target. But did you see?
Didn't lose. At least we didn't
True,
lose.
we didn't lose. Do you see any positives today, Kareem, in the performance?
Yeah, I actually see plenty of positives. You know, I really like this three at the back formation. First thing you could add is obviously defensively we've improved. I like the fact that we got a clean sheet. I can't remember when was the last time we got a clean sheet in the Premier League. I think it was the third game of the season. So that's definitely the first improvement. Secondly, improved possession. There were better patterns of play throughout the game.
Definitely.
What we saw on the ball, we were better. We were swinging the ball left and right. I thought it was a bit slow, but you know, with time, I think we've improved. Just give me a second. I'm just.
No, sorry, it's all right. I can hear you.
Yeah, so definitely that was a big improvement. You know, better possession. You know, passage of play was better. But here's some negatives that I'm just gonna talk about right now. Obviously, the team lacked sharpness. This is what I felt like, especially at the top end of the pitch. This is because I think we played the exact same team that we played on Thursday.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't fault Conte for it. He still doesn't know his best 11, so I think he's just giving it a go again. But players like Reguilon today, you could tell that he was tired, he was knackered. You know, an hour in. Son, I think Son didn't look like himself at all, and so I think lacking sharpness was I think a big problem today. But as well, just to get into it, like tactically, everyone's talking about Skip and HOJBJERG. I think these two can work together. They can. Okay, but it's not about them being creative. It's about having these two together and then in front of them somebody who can actually link the midfield with the forwards. So not playing like Lucas and Son, because if you saw today, it was Lucas and Son who were like dropping a bit below Kane, and then once the ball went into the midfield, those aren't the type of players you really expect to connect the midfield with the forward. I felt like Kane should have dropped a bit deeper and then them to push forward, or play in Ndombele, Lo Celso instead of Lucas, and then have them in the 10 position, because that's what Nuno did, and it struck a balance in the team, having Ndombele and then Skip and HOJBJERG as two defensive midfielders, because these two are good players, and you can't really expect them to do everything. You can't expect them to collect the ball and pivot like Moussa Dembele did, especially Skip. He's still a young player. Both of these players, their strengths are ball-winning anchor midfielders. They just want to stop the counterattacks, want to stop be good defensive midfielders, and then just give the ball to someone who can push the ball forward. So this is what I feel like today we kind of lacked that creativity going forward, and maybe it's because we didn't have someone like Ndombele or Lo Celso playing in like a lot earlier.
Kareem, what formation would you use then if say you say that Skip and HOJBJERG can work together? What would be the ideal formation based on say who we have right now?
Basically,
like in the team.
Basically, I'd just add Ndombele, Lo Celso instead of, for example, Lucas, and push him to the 10 position. So it'd be like 2-4-1-2. So that's what would work. That's where I see us moving forward as of right now. But I hope in the January transfer window we could sign someone like Kessie, because Kessie right now I think his contract runs at the end of the year.
Yeah.
AC Milan just lost Donnarumma for free to PSG, so I think they're going to really look at Kessie and be like, listen, are you going to sign that long-term contract or are you not? Because if they're not, they're going to try to push him throughout the door, because they don't want to let him go for free. So this is a player I think we definitely need. He's kind of like Moussa Dembele. I'm not gonna compare him like exactly with him, but he's the type of midfielder that can, like, he's good defensively, but at the same time he can pivot, and he is press resistant, and that way
he is.
Actually play that 3-4-3 that we played today, because that would allow some creativity coming from our midfielders. But I think as of right now we do need to like adjust the formation going forward. But this will come with time.
Yeah, of course it will. He's got to have an audition with all the players. He needs to see who he can trust, who he thinks he can play the way that he wants them to play. And I think, say if you bring in a Kessie, someone like that, I think he would be. Would you say that he would work with HOJBJERG and Skip, or would he have to play with like an Ndombele? You say you have like Skip as a central defensive midfielder, and then you have Ndombele and Kessie as the ones further up, or you have two in the midfield, and then you have one sitting in front of them, like the Ndombele in front. You have the Kessie and HOJBJERG, or Kessie and Skip behind.
So basically, what I'll do is straight swap. So today 3-4-3. All right. Take out either Højbjerg or Skip. Obviously, I think Skip will be the one taken out because he's still young. But it would be like Kessie and Højbjerg together, and Højbjerg be like the anchor man, and Kessie be more that box to box midfielder and the one who can really push the ball forward. And then also just today, I just didn't understand Kane staying as high up as he did. Although I didn't think he had a great performance, but Lucas really off the ball doesn't offer much. I said this last time I was on here. He doesn't really run in behind. He doesn't really ask for the ball much. It's more like, okay, if I get the ball, I'm gonna skip past
you.
Yeah, that's a complaint I've had about Lucas for a long time.
It just doesn't make sense. This isn't street football. This isn't it's not the Brazilian league. Okay, you can't just run past 3-4 players every single time and expect to do something with it. So, Lucas Moura has been pissing me off lately, but today positives. We played a lot better. It was really frustrating not to get the goal. And just one last thing I want to say, Lo Celso, I know he gets a lot of heat. He gets a lot of shit from our fans. And today, he was a bit, up and down. He had that post, he had that corner. But at least today he took that shot and hit the post. Because I'll tell you, it was really fucking boring to watch towards the end. I mean, we weren't getting any shot.
Yeah,
so I want to give him praise for at least hitting the post over there. And we could have scored. We could have done something. So I just don't want I don't want Lo Celso to start becoming that scapegoat. Where
agreed.
It's that damn player again. Get him off. Because he actually created something today.
I agree, and I believe in his quality. I know a lot of people don't, but I really do. I really think he's a very good player, and I just think we haven't seen the best of him for one reason or another. But I'm just hoping Conte is the right person to bring out of him, because I believe if we can really get him playing, we have a very good player on our hands.
I think there's a lot, isn't there, Sim? There's both of you. There's a lot of players in that team where it's kind of like the final straw. If Conte can't get a tune out of them, then I think they're going to have to go, because like Lo Celso, as much as some of us believe, I still believe there's a player in him as well. And it's just that if we can't actually get a tune out of him now after another manager like Conte, who's a world-class manager, then I think it's going to be time for some of these players to go and bring in players who can do the job that we need them to do, really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he just needs to be played in the same position, consistently.
I agree with that.
He kept changing his position, with Mourinho, he was the center midfield, and then I don't know with Nuno where he kind of played. It's been all over the place, and he's had injuries. But another player who is like that is Sessegnon. This is his chance right now, because now we're playing 3 at the back. We do actually have wing backs, and this is his preferred.
Perfect for him.
He needs to grab this chance. He needs to have a run of games this season, because if not, he needs to go. And one more thing, you guys were talking about left-sided centre back. I mean, do you guys not think Rodon could do a job as left-sided centre back?
Rodon potentially, Rodon. Although Davis plays there a lot for Wales, though, doesn't he? When they play 3 at the back.
Davis, I think we should get rid of him. I think Davis, he's not good enough anymore. Him, Winks, Deli, these type of players need to go. Just to say, I think hopefully moving forward, it's Rodon on the left side, and then Sanchez down the middle, and Romero on the right. Because I think Sanchez could be someone like Rudiger. In a back 4, he doesn't really do that well, but then in a back 3, he could actually be quite well, because he's good at slide tackling. He loves to dive in. And as well,
in a weird way, I think if you look at each of our defenders individually, Romero, most used to playing in a back 3 last year for Atalanta, and that's where he's most comfortable. Yep. Eric Dyer, I've always said in my opinion, his best position's always been, he played his best football for Tottenham when he was in a back 3 with Vertonghen and Alderweireld. That was when Dyer was at his best for me in that season, last season at White Hart Lane. Davinson Sanchez, he's at his best in a back 3. He always looks best when he's next to Alderweireld and Sanchez. Ben Davis, he looks at his best when he's in the back 3 for Wales on the left side of the centre back. That's where he's at his best. I don't know about Rodon, how he's looked in the back 3 before, but most of our defenders actually do look a lot better in a back 3.
They do
in general.
I think someone. Do you know what? I actually think someone like Sanchez would be better on maybe either left or right side of the centre back 3. I don't know if he'd be good as the central centre back purely because he doesn't have that leadership ability, say, because whenever he was in a back three, he always played with people who are leaders in the back, like a Vertonghen or someone like that, who was the one who commanded the back line. Like Alderweireld was never a leader of words. He was a leader by example in terms of his performances. And I think that's why someone like Romero, who you can see he's already starting to command the back line, and I think he should be the central point. Unless you go and bring in another top centre back like a Skriniar or someone of that ilk, then maybe you can move Sanchez or someone else to the either side of them. But I think until then, I think our best bet for the main centre back is going to be Romero, and then you just play whoever alongside them. I think we still need to see Tanganga in that right centre back, because I think he'd be brilliant as a right centre back, especially under Conte, because he looks so good as a right back. Just not going forward, he's not the greatest. But I think as a right centre back, he will give that right wing back position so much cover as well, and allow someone like Emerson to kind of bomb up even more so, because he's so good. And I think we need to see that as well.
But Tanganga's really one for the future. I mean, players like Skipp and Tanganga, I'm not saying I don't want to see them in the starting 11 like next season or this season, but I really don't think there should be the ones that like we rely on. I really do believe we need to sign another centre back, because I agree with you, Sanchez doesn't have that leadership, but I also see that Eric Dyer is really like, he's no good in my opinion. I mean, you saw like last week, you saw that game against Newcastle with the ball. Like, if he's not good in the air, okay, and he's not good defending on the floor as last man and tackling, what is he really good at? Just speaking Spanish or Portuguese? The guy really has to go. I mean, honestly, like I really want to see Sanchez play with Romero and Rodon in the back three. That's basically what I was trying to say.
That'll be interesting. All right, KAREEM.
All right.
Nice to see you, mate. Nice to hear from you.
Nice to speak to you, KAREEM.
All right, we'll talk next time. See you guys.
Hopefully after a win. I'm looking forward.